This is a video update for Dan. Dan, we took Connor to the Brucersfield Grand Prix eventing. This was a competition that I sort of was more using as a bit of a training competition. It was always my intention of not to run him in the cross country and just really work at trying to get Connor focused and dialed in the dressage. He's still a little bit spooky in the ring. You'll see as we come through this turn, he sees that purple flower box and shies away from it a bit. Anyway, I got to the show a day early, so I got to train him in this ring a couple of times, and it was actually one of our best dressage tests. So I think we're actually heading on the right path. We've been doing quite a lot of dressage training in the lead up. I think just looking back at our performances in last year, we've got to get this dressage score down. We had our three big competitions last year at Kentucky, and then we had Aachen, and then Maryland. And Connor's very, very capable of leading the dressage. He's obviously a beautiful horse and a flamboyant mover, and but he's a little bit hard to keep focused and dialed in for the dressage. And I really wanted to take him to this competition to sort of practice how I'm going to ride him in the ring, and also prepare him for the for when we get to these sort of high atmosphere competitions. I ran him in the cross country here last year, and I felt like the course freaked him out a bit. So I didn't want to compete him in the cross country again, just because everything we're focusing on is towards trying to be very, very successful, go one better than we did last year at Kentucky. By saying that, they changed the course designer, so the course was a little bit more friendly. So potentially we might run him in it next year, just because he'd be very, very competitive. Next week we plan to take him to this event called Chat Hills, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a 4-star short. It's sort of a proper run for him, so we're going to do that 4-star short there in preparation towards Kentucky, and then we're going to run him again about 3 or 4 weeks later back in Aiken at Stableview, and then and that's going to be on early April 3rd, 4th and 5th back at Stableview. And I figured that to get our best performances at Kentucky, to run him in sort of 2 solid cross-country courses instead of this sort of arena eventing, I don't think that makes him that much better for what we're going for, which is a big 5-star performance. So anyway, I was very, very pleased with Connor, the way he went. Unfortunately, they've come up with these new dressage tests, and so we scored a 30, but the score was actually really a 26, 27. They changed the dressage tests, like a couple of the movements in the test. So at the end of the test, I couldn't believe it, but the judge said that I made 2 course errors. And I said, "You're kidding me, aren't you? I've been practicing this test." And anyway, they made some adjustments to the test, and it's my own fault, and I didn't get the correct copy of the dressage movement. So it was bloody annoying, because we finished on a 30, but we also got penalised 6 points, so we would have been, arguably the leader of the class. That being said, I was disappointed or angry at myself for not figuring out that it was never my goal to try and win this competition. Just as I said to you in my email, my big plan was to just practice the dressage and the show jumping, and then we'll give him a proper run next week in Georgia. And then after Georgia, we're going to ship him all the way back to Pennsylvania, start galloping him up the mountains of Unionville, Pennsylvania, and get him really, really fit for Kentucky. Show jumping was good. Again, we're a bit unlucky. We had, I think we had about the 4th jump down. We just towed it. He jumped really, really well, and I think he just tapped it with his front toes. By saying that, it was a very big course, and I didn't sort of use, there you go, I didn't use every trick in the book to really make him jump well. There's, we can put some fancy boots on him which make him jump a little bigger behind. We didn't really challenge him in the warm-up and make him work too hard. So I just wanted to get in this ring, and he spooks at the Jumbotron and he has a little look at the VIP tent. So it was more getting him in the ring, and like I said before, I wasn't too fussed if we had a pole down or whatnot, just because we weren't really wanting to win the competition. And sometimes trying to make them jump clear doesn't make them better, if you know what I mean. It's sort of, you end up carrying them around. So anyway, I was pleased with him. He jumped well, and obviously we withdrew him after the show jumping, and I think we would have been one of the top finishers if we decided to have a crack at it. Anyway, this is our jumping training. Earlier in the week, we did quite a lot of training building up towards that competition. Peter Wild, my jumping coach, came into town, and we jumped the horse here on Wednesday, and felt like he jumped really, really well. And then we've also had a lot of dressage training. I've brought in another dressage coach on top of Silver, a pure dressage rider that's competed at the World Championships, called Brett Parbury, and we really went to work on Connor. So I'm hoping that the work that we're putting in here, we receive the benefits when we really need to have a great performances at coming in at the big 5-star in April. Anyway, mate, the horse is very fit. He's been very healthy, touch wood. He's in great spirits. He's quite full of himself. He is feeling very, very fit, and he's can be a bit of a handful to ride, but it's sort of what makes him great too. He's a real champion horse that when we really need him to dig deep, he's sort of got that fight in him, which is it's frustrating when we're training, but it just makes him a great horse. Anyway, Dan, everything's going well, and like I said, we're going to travel to Atlanta, and then next week we do dressage and show jumping on Friday, and then the cross country Saturday, then head back to home sweet home in Pennsylvania.